Let's talk about, how do you get to know yourself? How can you figure out what your work preferences are? And what I always recommend to people is a DISC personality profile. You've heard one of those before, right, Jason?
Yeah, the DISC, and I've
Mhm.
done a lot of them over the years. I've noticed that in general they do shift a little bit, but they kind of stay pretty consistent because most of us, our personality stays pretty consistent.
Yeah, exactly. So a DISC personality profile is what you should do if you haven't done one already. If you've done one, but it's been a long time since you did one, I'm going to give you a URL today that you can use to do a free test. So either way, whether you haven't done one before or it's been a long time, I think it would be a good idea for you to go out and do one again. But let's unpack what a DISC personality profile is. And by the way, a lot of people will say, oh, you need to do a Myers-Briggs personality type indicator, an MBTI. Don't do that, because that used to be a very, very popular way for people to do some self-discovery. Unfortunately, the whole approach has really been scientifically debunked, and so it's kind of a toy now rather than a useful instrument. So I would say stay away from that. An MBTI, but a DISC I think is a great way to go. Now, DISC, as Jason said, it's DISC. It's an acronym. Let's go over what that acronym means. The D stands for dominance. And by the way, I have found that the terminology in DISC is not what you think it is. So if I say dominance, you probably think of like somebody like the Terminator walking around telling people, give me your clothes, give me your sunglasses and give me your bike. That's dominance, right? Not in this context. Dominance here just means, how do you deal with problems? How much you assert yourself, and how much control do you want over situations. So it's not as extreme as it might seem in the movies, but there's a continuum here, right? So whether you're very, very passive, or whether you're very, very assertive, right? That's what the D part is gonna measure for you. The I stands for influence, and that's the way you deal with people, the way you communicate, and how you relate with other people. So do you like, and the I is really around, how much you like to be around other people, is what I've noticed. So that's D, that's I. S is steadiness, and that describes the way you behave with emotions, and how emotional you are, and how emotional you let other people see that you're being. You could feel like a train wreck on the inside, but just really project the sense of calmness and patience. Or you could wear your heart on your sleeve, if you've ever heard that, right? Where you know exactly how a person feels because they just let all that emotion come out all the time. And then C is compliance, and that describes how you approach and organize your activities and responsibilities. Basically, are you a rule follower, or in one extreme, and then the other extreme is, are you more of a rule breaker, or do you do you follow rules when it works for you, and then break them when they don't? When like, are you an entrepreneur? Is what I'm trying to say, right?